From Forex Traders Daily, this is your daily analysis with Ross Mullins, live from Richmond, Virginia.
Hello everyone, this is today's video analysis for April 10th, 2015. In just a moment, I'm going to be taking a look at several different currency pairs today for our analysis, but first I want to recap a couple of the trades that we've been looking at over the past few days. First off, of course, is going to be the USCAD. A phenomenal trading opportunity over the past few days as we look for buys on dips into support at the bottom of our wider range. And if you look here on the daily chart, you can see that wider range that we've been looking at highlighted in the blue box. We had the historical triangle pattern, the breakout, the dips back down to the top side of that triangle, back down into the supports, the purple and the orange shaded area, into the bottom of the range. Been just a phenomenal opportunity actually since January. Every time it's dipped down into these lows, we've had opportunities to buy it. So again, once again, we've had an opportunity over the past several days to buy this, holding profit, have closed half of the position with 100 pips, holding the rest locked in around 70 pips, and it just continues to climb. Of course, we have to take note that there is Canadian employment numbers being released in about a half an hour from the recording of this video. Could dramatically change this pair. If it continues to move in our favor and move higher, we'll look for the yellow zone or the orange zone at the top of the range to become our next resistance targets. So we'll be watching for that. If it turns around and goes back down, then of course we want to be sure we have locked in profit so we can make sure we don't lose on this trade. So right now my lock-in is about 70 pips. I can't lose on the trade any longer anyways, but my lock-in's about 70 pips. The closer we get to that news, it's likely that I will bring my stop loss up underneath today's low, the daily low. Let's go ahead and zoom it in a couple of times here on the daily chart just to get an idea where it is. You can see the buy order. It's kind of tough to see, but the buy order is down here into the 2430 level, bottom of the purple zone. My stop loss again is locked in at 70 pips right here, right around the 2500 level, or right at the 2500 level. We're challenging the blue shaded area today, likely to be some resistance into that blue zone. We expected that yesterday. A breakout above here, we'll look for it to go all the way back up here to this yellow shaded area at the top of the chart. We may look to adjust this a little bit because of this high right here. In fact, I might do it now. Let's go ahead and take this blue zone. Let's put this up closer to this. Let's bring this one up closer to this. And it's going to make that blue zone kind of wide. In fact, let's not make it that way. Let's bring it down to about right here. It's going to make that blue shaded area kind of wide, but that is the zone. You can see it there. You can see support here. You can see resistance here. So it's anywhere between 2620 and 2675. So it's about a 50 pip zone highlighted in blue. If we can break above there, of course, the yellow zone becomes our next target. Back underneath the blue shaded area, if that data comes out and it goes back underneath the blue zone, then of course we'd look for it back down here to the green zone. So again, it's very likely that as we approach that news coming up in about 30 minutes from the recording of this video, we bring the stop loss up underneath today's low, this daily candle low. And that way, if it continues to go higher, great. If it turns down, we want to be able to lock in some more profit for this currency pair. Let's go ahead and take it down to the 4-hour chart. Zoom it out a little bit. Taking a look. Actually, let's do this. I think this might be a little bit better than what we've done right now with that blue shaded area being so wide. Let's actually change it up a little bit. Let's bring this down here, and now I'm going to just bring this to about right here. So that highlights this area of congestion here, some resistance here, support, resistance, congestion back here. Now what we're going to do is just add in another highlight. This will give us a little bit more detail to our chart. And let's put this line right about right there, this one right about right here, and let's just add in another colored shaded area. And let's add in the pink shaded area. Let's do this right here. Highlight it as this pink color. Alright, so that's given us a little bit better viewpoint of the support and resistance. So there's our blue zone. We know that if it gets back underneath there, we'd likely look for it back to the green zone. But staying above this blue zone has a really good chance of taking a turn back up here towards the pink shaded area, which is closer to the 2670s level. Let's actually scroll back in time just a little bit. Take a look. Let's draw this pink zone back. Let's just continue to push it back here like this. You can see the resistance here, support here. So it's duplicated back in time. That's really what we're looking for when we're drawing these shaded areas. We want to make sure that they're consistent with what we've seen back in history, and that's exactly what we've seen. So I'm happy to leave that there, just adjusting it a hair here and there. It doesn't really need to be that precise, but there you go. So now the blue shaded area, staying above it, we're going to the pink zone. The pink zone above that, the yellow zone comes into play as our next resistance, and we might be able now also to draw that up just a little bit tighter into these highs here, just a little bit, and draw that up a little bit tighter also, so that yellow zone becomes our next resistance. So good information there. Hopefully some of that will benefit you as you continue to hold the USCAD. Let's take a peek across several different currency pairs. Euro dollar, we've seen a dramatic fall over the past 4 or 5 days. It's come back down off of the top of the blue box, the range that we've seen. Most notably today, we're challenging closer to the lower lows, the lows that are at the very bottom, the ultimate lows that we see here at the very bottom, towards the 1.0500 level. So the closer it gets to the bottom of that blue box, the green shaded area, and the 0.500 level, becomes discouraging to sell it again, because we know there's probable support at that low. It happened the last time, so there's probable support. It doesn't have to. Of course, it can break through it and go lower, but we definitely want to pay attention to the support here. Let's zoom it in a couple of times here. On the daily chart, squeeze it out. Again, there's that green shaded area. Very probable that we find support there, because that's what happened the last time the market was here, so very probable. I do not want to sell it this close to this low. That just doesn't become a logical scenario. If I'm going to sell it, again, I need it to come back up to resistance, which at least at this point would be 106.50s or so. The mid 106s, the pink shaded area. So the pink zone is selling. The green zone is potential support and potential buying opportunity. I'd be very careful to buy it against this pressure we've seen with the US dollar. If it does indeed take a breakout underneath there, the next push would be likely down here into the mid 103s. We've looked at that back in history to find that as a potential profit target. So these 3 arrows should tell you, and actually let's add one more. These 4 arrows now tell you the expectation. Potential support in the green zone. Resistance is the pink zone. If you're looking to sell it, you sell the pink zone or under the green zone. That's really the way it goes. Sell the pink zone or under support and a breakout underneath the green shaded area to go to the blue zone. Intraday buys into the green shaded area, a possibility. Definitely be careful with that. Let's take 1 Fibonacci from the low to the high of this range, and we find this 886 fib. 786 is right where the current market is, 1.0588, and then 0.529 is the 886 fib, right into our green shaded area. So be very careful selling into the support, but sell into resistance or a break of the support. Potential buys as it falls down into the low 105s for the euro dollar. Let's take a peek at the pound dollar. It has broken out as expected. We've been following the trend. We've been following these 3 boxes, red, green, and blue. We pushed underneath there. Not too surprising. This is exactly what we expected it to do. 4-hour chart. If you take it down here to the 4-hour chart, we were talking yesterday in the trade room about what is a breakout, an open and close, clear single candle body, a breakout, open and close underneath the support. Zoom it in. There they are, 2 candles underneath the support. That was your breakout opportunity. A little bit of a rally into the 1.4720s with this little candle right here, and then a fall. So if you took a sell on that breakout, then it's been a phenomenal trading opportunity as it's now pushing down into 146. I don't think you want to sell it right now. Again, you want to sell resistance or a break underneath support. We'd have to see something very similar to what happened several hours ago under the blue zone to happen under the pink zone for us to see this continue lower. But if it does, into the 1.4400s would be our next target. We'll look at that deeper in the trade room later on. US yen continues to waffle around. I don't think there's anything extraordinary going on here, but mostly I would say the blue shaded area is your support. Staying above there, again, there's the breakout strategy, right? We talked about that yesterday. Breaking there, we're going to target back to the yellow shaded area, back underneath the blue zone. We'll look for it to fall back down towards the orange shaded area. Australian dollar. taking a look at this, we've been studying the long-term trend, the blue trend line, the green, the red, and the blue box here. We're at the very bottom of the blue box. Difficult to suggest selling it right now because we're at the bottom of the range. We're also at the bottom of this little red trend channel that's rising here. Will be easier to see that if I zoom in like this. You see the rising trend channel? We're at the very bottom of that. So there's high probability of support here at the green shaded area, but clearly a breakout underneath that rising channel and that green zone. We look for it to challenge the lows into the orange shaded area, and underneath there, just like the pound dollar and the euro dollar, if it breaks there out of the range, we're likely looking for a continuation lower. Intraday buys here in the middle of the 76.40 to 20 level, into the middle of that green zone. A possibility, just use very light risk in case it continues to break down underneath there today. Let's take it down to the 4-hour chart. Same stuff there, just a little bit of a zoomed in view. Let's take Fibonacci from the lowest low to the current high. Just this little up range. 50%, by the way, is at 76.35. That's where we're currently challenging right now, the 50%. 618, 76.11, just at the bottom. So worst case scenario, if you are thinking about buying this currency pair into the support and into the bottom of this channel, then your stop loss is just probably around the 7600 level, because if it breaks the green zone, you don't want to stay in a buy any longer. So definitely a place that you might consider a new trading opportunity here. New Zealand dollar, just congestion. I'm not ready to buy or sell this pair. It's just in congestion over the past week. We need a breakout there before a new trading opportunity on the New Zealand dollar.
From Forex Traders Daily, this has been your daily analysis with Ross Mullins. If you would like to get Ross's analysis on all the currency pairs he's watching and all the trades he takes today, join him in his live trade room by clicking on the link below. Please leave any comments you have about today's video in the comments section below.